In today's video, we are going to discuss 5 very important points about any business before you own it. So starting with question 1, how does that company makes money? Second is that company growing or not? And moving on to third one, does that money actually goes to the company or not? And then question 4 is, can it survive a bad year? And question 5 is, what does the price assumption mean? So these are the 5 questions that decide whether you should own that business or not. And mostly professionals who are expert in this field, they try to understand these 5 questions and their judgment is mainly based on these. However, nobody is gonna teach you in such an order. And so this video is all about that. 5 questions so we can understand this with a very basic example, that is Costco. Costco is an excellent business, and by the end of this video, you will have proved that with real numbers and our rating models still scores it neutral. And 47 out of 100, a wonderful business and a decent investment score at the same time. So that should be a contradicting, right? But that is the single most important idea in investing. And the 5 questions are what that is gonna reveal all of this. So Costco keeps 3 cents of profit from every dollar it sells. That sounds like a terrible business, right? It is one of the best retailers on earth. And the reason is question 1, which is, if you can understand that business in simple sentences, it means that you understand the whole concept, how it makes money. So here is Costco. It runs membership warehouses. It sells product at deliberately low prices and it charges an annual membership fee. Customers pay for the right to shop there. Now if you see the model number, it is a decent score, which is 47, not too much, because this is where people does not understand that. Costco's gross margin is about 13%. Its operating margin is under 4%. Its net margin is about 3% only. So if you screen for companies by profit margin, Costco would not meet those requirements and you would never look it again. Now you know the model, so you can read those numbers properly. The margin is low on purpose. Costco deliberately hands the saving to customers, which makes the membership worth paying for. The real profit is in the fee, and fees renews every year. So the 3% is not a weakness, it is a strategy working exactly as designed. Now compare to that with Nvidia, which keeps about 63 cents of every dollar, 63 cents against 3 cents. If the margin were a scoreboard, that you would see how big difference is. So these are 2 excellent businesses playing opposite games. Nvidia sells something almost nobody can make, so it charges far more than it costs. And Costco sells things everybody can buy deliberately at almost no profit and earn its money from the fee instead. So high margin is not always a bad thing. The margin tells you whether the game company is playing is right or not. So your job is only to check that it plays the game well. That is what question 1 buys you. A number means nothing until you understand that business and how it is produced. So get the business wrong and every ratio after it will mislead. Now that you understand how it makes money, let's see whether it is getting bigger or not. So a company might be very famous, but it might not be going anywhere. So growth is the difference and it takes 30 seconds to just check. And that leads to our question 2, is whether the business is actually getting bigger or not. So Costco's revenue went from $119 billion in 2016 to about $275 billion in 2025, and there is compound growth rate of roughly around 10% a year for a decade. The most recent year grew about 9% only, and now 10% does not sound exciting next to a technology company growing 70% like Nvidia. But look at what it tells you. This business more than doubled in 10 years through a pandemic, through inflation, through period ups and down. That is the quality I want you to look for, not the biggest number. The most consistent one is, here is how you to read those properly. Use 3 to 5 years, not just a single quarter. 1 billion quarter does not define the whole business and it makes your comparison very bad. So you need to have few years of data to back it up. And now check earning alongside revenue. If revenue climbs while profit does not, ask where the money is going. Growth that never becomes profit is just expenses that is going away. So there is one more habit worth checking, is ask what actually drives that business. For Costco, the honest answer is more than warehouse, is membership and members renewing at every year. So those things that you can follow every quarter. That matters because growth from opening new locations is repeatable. Growth from one rise is not. So same percentage on the page, completely different quality underneath. So that brings us to the next question that separates real businesses from good story. So profit is an opinion, cash is a fact, and profitable companies even go bankrupt every year. And this is the number that you need to be very careful about. Question 3 is whether profit turns into actual money in the bank or not. So profit involves judgments. These are estimates, choices at different times, assumptions with different factors. Cash either arrived to the company or not. So that is the real question. So Costco produced about $13 billion of operating cash flow last year. It spent about $5.5 billion on capital expenditures, which is new warehouses, equipments and technology. That leaves free cash flow of roughly $8 billion. And free cash flow is the number that would keep if I could only keep one. It is the operating cash flow minus capital expenditure. So in simple terms, the cash left after paying for everything in the business that needs to keep running that business and growing that business. So that is the real money available for dividends, buybacks, debt payments, and simply piling up for the company. So here is the tip you can run on any company. Compare operating cash flow with net income over several years. If cash flow consistently meets or beats profit, the profit is the real. If profit keeps climbing while cash lags behind, year after year, something needs to be explained, and Costco passes that. Its operating cash flow comfortably exceeds its reported business. So the cash which is sitting now is good. But what happens when trading gets difficult? That is, can it survive a bad year? That is our next question.